Welcome into All Things LA Real Estate. My name is PK Knoll. This is your El Sereno September real estate update. We've been keeping our eye month over month on El Sereno. I had initial, I had perspectives that there's a possibility that El Sereno could be that next neighborhood that pops up into the average $1 million home price. We were taking a look at it, but I got some major concerns with what the numbers are telling us and the progressions that we're having in the neighborhood. We're going to get into all the numbers. We'll look at some month over month. We'll do some year over year. And at the end of the video, I'm going to highlight a few homes that have caught my eye as we run through the numbers and try and find some value in the neighborhood right now. Let's go. Jumping into El Sereno, the numbers are kind of giving lightning for me. So I've talked about how I think El Sereno has long-term potential. I'm not talking about in the upcoming months or even in the upcoming year, but we need to see crime reduced. We need to see some improvement in the schools, and we need to see some commercial downtown area develop. But it has the room and the potential to do those things. But with currently going on through the numbers of the real estate market, it has me pretty weary. If you're a homeowner in El Sereno, you might be a little bit cautious. You're probably not going to get the appreciation you want because the numbers are telling us some turns occurring, right? We have 40 or 20 homes available for sale right now. 3 of those homes have seen price drops. Normally, you don't want to see any price drops, but in this market, most markets, we're seeing 30% price drops. El Sereno's only seeing 15%, which is concerning. We'll talk about that in just one moment. Minimum price right now in the neighborhood is $550K. We're going to talk about that house later on. Maximum 1.488888. Average home available for sale right now is 857, 194. That is a consistent number. What I'm looking for long term is it gets to $1 million, and then it becomes one of the, it falls into the Monterey Park, Altadena. It gets into the group with all the other East Side neighborhoods that are well developed and have kind of made huge progressions over the past, decade or so. Days on market. Here's where the big red flag comes in. We're now up to 74 for these homes available for sale, and that is a crazy high number. People are either being stingent, the agents aren't doing the work, but we need to see price drops. When you're up to 74 days, that's crazy. Usually 60 is the mark. Once a house has been sitting for 2 months, usually is when home sellers start to get weary. They start to lower the price so they can move on from the property. But we're up to 2.5 months, and we're just not seeing the price drops that are necessary in today's market. You see it in every other neighborhood on the East Side, whether it's Pasadena, Altadena, Los Feliz, Atwater. We're doing monthly breakdowns on all these, and El Sereno just isn't catching the drift on this. So we're going to need to see that happen sometime soon because we're not paying top dollar in a neighborhood like El Sereno when the interest rates are 7.5% or 8%. If we look at September of 2022, we had 16 homes sell, 104% clip, so 4% over the list price, which is pretty solid. We'll probably have some year-over-year declines with only 20 homes available for sale. But let's look at last month so we can get deeper into the numbers and see exactly what's happened in El Sereno. Let's do that now. Last month out in El Sereno, we had 11 homes sell at 104% clip. So we're still seeing that 4% over the list price, which is a solid, consistent number for real estate industry, and that's been consistent for a while. As we move past the summer months, I'm expecting we're going to start to see months, if we don't see price drops, of lower than list price sales, because you're going to have to make some concessions. If you're a home seller, you're just not getting the interest. People are not coming into El Sereno right now at a 7.5% interest. Jerome Powell's made it very clear we're going to be staying at these high rates for a long time. So it might be another year. I think as we get into the winter months, it's always slower in real estate because no one wants to move over the holidays. We're going to start to see that 104 come down. And we're going to start seeing homes sell right at the list price, probably even below if we don't get those price drops in the market. Minimum home sold last month in El Sereno was $740K. It was $9K under the list price. So it was listed for $749, sold for $740. Top end, we had a home sell for $1.35 million. It sold exactly at the list price. So the top end kind of in the neighborhood is, if they get the offer they want, and that's probably what we're seeing. That's how you get to 74 days is you get a seller or an agent who just stuck on this certain price. And the market's like, no, that's not what we want. And eventually they sit around and you get that one offer at your list price and you take it and you run with it. Days on average home sale was 981, 924, just a smidge higher than normal in El Sereno. Days on market was 26 days. That's a little bit high for homes sold, but it's usually between 10 and 15. So 26 is nothing to write home about. August of 2022, we had 17 homes sell, 105% clip. So 5% over the list price. We saw that consistently in El Sereno in 2022. That is a 35% decline year over year. That's not a great statistic for any market, but we're seeing it throughout all the East Side neighborhoods. There's only one neighborhood on the East Side that's had a positive year over year stance when it comes to the month of August. 35 is actually right on par with a lot of other neighborhoods, but with the El Sereno numbers, what it's screaming to me is price drops are coming, homes selling under the list price, and something's going to kind of give. You're not going to probably expect much appreciation on your home if you're a homeowner in El Sereno for the rest of this year. But let's go out and check out some homes that have caught my eye, see if we can find some value in the market. Homes that have caught my eye. So here's what we get into. We get into the entry level. What's the minimum price to get in the neighborhood? I give you PK's top pick. In today's real estate market, things are very tough. Affordability's at decades low, so it's always going to be a numbers financial play. Then we'll talk about the top dog, see what the top end looks like in the market. I try to stay positive when assessing homes because I don't want to hurt people trying to sell their home, but it's pretty tough with what's going on in El Sereno, so we'll get into that. We're going to start on the entry level. If you went back to August, the entry level house, I told you the numbers were off. I'm only buying this house if I can get it for at least $50K onto the list, and no one made those offers. That home actually expired. The current low listing is 3215 Pirate Street. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 542 square feet. It's listed for 550K. It's on one of those steep lots. If you're familiar with El Sereno, a lot of rolling hills throughout El Sereno. This is one of those steeper lots, so you're going to really have to be smart about the foundation. This home needs serious work. They got it priced at $1,014 per square foot. That is so high. It's probably double where I want it to be for a 542 square foot home. The lot's 3750, which isn't terrible, so there is some room, and it's right off Huntington Drive. As far as comps go, they're okay. You know, top end, do a beautiful job, maybe 700. Top 750K right now. So this one's kind of a real project house, and I'm a little bit weary if you went in on it, but if the location's good and you got the extra cash to make the renovations, maybe something to take a peek at. If you need help looking at a home, certainly reach out to me. Let's get to PK's top pick. Last month, we broke down a house that just had incredible comps based off the area. That home went under contract pretty much immediately. That's what's been happening consistently. Don't mean to brag on all PK's top pick. But this one is 5353 Huntington Drive. It's not on the fast part. It's on the little frontage Huntington Drive over there. It's a 2-2, 1,054 square feet. It's listed for $840,000. So I want anything under $1 million to be between $400 and $700 per square foot. This is $796 per square foot. So I like that number. And the lot's very big. It's 7,500. It's not the prettiest house in my estimation, but it's been sitting for a while. I just don't particularly love how the market's looking in El Sereno. This home has been sitting since October 15th of 2022, so almost a year. That's the only reason I threw it on there. There's just not a lot of good financial value in the neighborhood right now, in my opinion. I'm looking elsewhere. I'm probably looking to Monterey Park or, you know, other areas right around there. Check out some of the other breakdowns if you can afford it to do so. But I think there's got to be some desperation. This house has to be willing to take under the list price for, you know, sitting for a year almost as far as things go. But the per square footage isn't bad. The location isn't bad. So, you know, slim pickings out of the 20 homes. This is the best I could do. That just gives you some insight as far as my perspective on what's happening currently in El Sereno. But let's jump to the top dog. We know that 5501 Alhambra was the top dog last month. That was that investment property. We ran all the numbers. Very interesting. You can definitely go back to the August real estate update and kind of go through the last section of the top dog because we break down the numbers of the investment. And even if you're not going to get that house, which you can't now, it gives you a good perspective if you are looking to get into investment opportunities of what the numbers breakdowns look like. Currently, 4418 Bowman Boulevard, 6 bedrooms, 6 baths, 2775 square feet. It's listed for the 1.488888. It's in Bowman Estates. So this was actually a development project, builder's project. We don't see a lot of them. There's 6 homes in this little project. So it's a nice little, like nook of a neighborhood, kind of quiet. $536 per square foot. Love that at the 1.5 range. 2847 is a lot, so not huge. There is a 2-car garage, but this is split. It's got a back ADU, so it has a 4-4 front, 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, and a 2-1 ADU in the back. So it could be a good opportunity to get into a little bit of a better part of El Sereno, a little bit of a nice little neighborhood there in Bowman Estates. Have a little back ADU to possibly rent out and get some supplemental income. Be weary when it comes to the Airbnb. I did a breakdown as Dallas just outlawed Airbnbs and how that kind of affects everybody. So maybe go check that video out if you're somebody who's, tinkering with the possibility of having an Airbnb, but it's probably more, suited for, short, mid, long-term rentals, STRs in the back with that. Great views here. Good little rooftop on the house. So I definitely like it. If I'm getting into El Sereno, honestly, this might be the nicest house available and probably where I'm sticking my neck out if you're willing to spend 1.5 to get into El Sereno. Thank you so much for watching the video. We do this every single month for almost every neighborhood on the east side. We're doing Pasadena, Silver Lake, Eagle Rock, Highland Park, Glendale, La Cañada, El Sereno, Cypress Park. The list goes on and on. So like and subscribe to the channel if you are so inclined. If you're somebody who's looking to purchase a home on the east side of Los Angeles or sell your home, I am happy to help out with you. Reach out to me. You can send me a direct message online, or all of my phone numbers are listed. Even if you're somebody who's hesitant with 7% interest rates, that puts us in the same boat. It always helps to start preparing for future opportunities because you don't want to miss the boat there. We will tread lightly. We will look for value, and we will get it done. I also do a ton of other videos. I get into the schools. I get into, the restaurants in the neighborhood. I get into the attractions in the neighborhood. I do some other fun videos like quick cribs. So once again, like and subscribe if you are so inclined. Have a great day. Be kind.
Yeah.